Alright guys, welcome back to another video. And you know how in the last couple tutorials I showed you guys how to make a basic function, and I also told you guys that inside your parentheses you could have extra variables, which are pretty much extra information that your function needs in order to work. Now the technical name for this extra information is an argument. So if you have more than one variables, they're called arguments, and I'm going to show you guys how to have a default value for your arguments in this video. If you guys are like, okay, why would we ever need this? It's useless. Well, let me give you guys an example. Say that we're using Python for web development and we're making a social network. And whenever the user signs up, they can select if they're male or female, and then it'll display on their profile. However, if they enter nothing, then we don't just want to enter an empty value into our database, or else bad things can happen, get some unexpected results. So we want to set a default value for their gender. So let's make a function called getGender, and we'll set the sex, and instead of just passing it in a value explicitly, we'll say, okay, by default, sex is equal to unknown. So that way we can have something to put in our database instead of just emptiness, a void. So now what we can do is say, okay, if sex, if they enter M, then we'll just set it equal to male. So again, the final variable will be the one that we throw into our database, and then we'll just put else if sex is female, then set it equal to the word female. And of course the last thing we want to do is print sex, which would be pretty much printing it to our database instead of just on the screen, but for this example it'll work fine. So now what we can do is this. Actually, if I type all these examples, it's probably going to be really easy to see what's going on. Alright, let me adjust my chair. Adjustin. That's what they called me, and I don't know. I was trying to think of something funny to say, but something like with a name Justin, but I don't know. If anyone has anything good, then let me know, and I'll use it in like 10 tutorials when everyone forgets that I couldn't come up with anything. Alright, so let's run this and check out what happens. So if they entered M, it says, okay, by default we have sex equal to unknown, but you entered M, so we're going to use that value instead. So if they enter F, we say, okay, sex you want to equal F. Now in this one right here, we didn't enter anything. We didn't enter M, F, or any letters at all. So in this case, it would say, okay, since you didn't give me a value to set sex equal to, I'm going to enter it as unknown by default. So again, that is the default value. So now sex is equal to unknown, so when it prints it out to your database, it just prints out unknown. So it's a lot better than just printing out nothing, because again, like I say, it could confuse the database, and there are other examples of when this is useful as well. But hopefully you guys understand what a default value is. Basically, if you forget to set the variable explicitly, it has something to store by default. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and again, tell me a Justin joke if you have one. So see you later.